Good afternoon, children. Today we will be doing a new lesson in religion. It's Advent, the Christmas season. Children, as you all know, Christmas is a very enjoyable season, especially for children because they look forward to Santa Claus coming to give them toys. Today we will learn about how Santa Claus came into being. This is Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas was the Bishop of Myra, and later I will send you a video as to why he became and known to be Santa Claus. So listen to the video, children.
Once there was a little boy who lived by the shore of the sea. He watched the ships go sailing by, all wrapped in mystery. "What do you carry? Where do you go?" he said as he saw them there. "I hope you bring many good things to girls and boys everywhere." Nicholas was the little boy's name, in case you'd like to know. He loved surprising others with gifts and see their faces glow. And then he would hide, and no one would know the one who loved them so. Once a father had grown so poor as to sell his daughters 3. And 3 nights to his window Nicholas came, with gold to keep them free. Nicholas went to church one day, and all the people stood. "You have a heart like God's," they said, "a heart that is so good. Will you today our bishop be, and lead us as God would?" When Nicholas died, God welcomed him to heaven's great applause. Well done, good Nicholas, for serving well my cause." And now, every Christmas, Nicholas comes with gifts for girls and boys. You know his name as Nicholas, but it's also Santa Claus. Oh, good Saint Nicholas, children's friend, friend of girls and boys, through the clouds come again, and fill your bag with toys. And give me a giving heart for loving others too. I want to know how good it is to give good gifts like you.
Children, Advent is the season before Christmas. It is a time to prepare. I will explain to you what Advent is all about. It starts 4 weeks before Christmas. Please listen and learn about Advent in the next video.
Isn't this a special time of year? Things begin to change all around us, don't they? Some places begin to play holiday music. And decorations spring up all over the place. And you know what else? People begin to get really excited because of all the festivities that begin to take place. Yup, it's a very special time of year. But, well, in the middle of all that, it's easy to forget what the season is really all about in the first place. And Advent is all about helping us remember what Christmas is all about. Advent comes from the Latin word adventus, which means coming. It's like when you are expecting a visit from friends and family that you haven't seen in a long time. You think of all the fun times you will have together. You look forward to their visit. Or like when you are excited about vacation time and you ask,
"How many days till we go on vacation?"
You ask that because you just can't wait to do something special, right? In the same way that we look forward to things that are special to us, during Advent, we look forward to celebrating Christmas. That Jesus came to us as a baby 2,000 years ago, and that someday he will return, just as he promised. So, how do we observe Advent? Advent starts with evening prayer on the Sunday closest to November 30th and ends the evening before Christmas. One way we observe it is by means of an Advent wreath, a circle of evergreen branches with 4 candles. Usually 3 of them are violet and 1 of them the color rose. Each of the 4 Sundays before Christmas, family and friends gather around the wreath. They'll read something that helps them to think about Jesus, and then they pray and light a candle in honor of our Lord. On the 3rd Sunday, the rose-colored candle is lit because the time is nearing for the birth of Jesus, which is celebrated on the last Sunday, when the final candle is lit. As each of the candles are lit, it reminds us of how Jesus brought his light to our world.
Advent candles and symbols. There are 4 candles for Advent, for the 4 weeks of Advent. They are hope, love, joy, and peace. The first candle, the symbol is an apple. For the second week of Advent, the symbol is a camel. For the third week of Advent, which is the pink candle, the symbol is a crown. And the fourth week of Advent, which is just before Christmas, the symbol is the head of John the Baptist. The first symbol is an apple, which represents Adam and Eve. You all know the story of Adam and Eve and how they disobeyed God by eating the apple from the tree that God told them not to eat. Adam and Eve, they disobeyed God by eating the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and they were asked to go out of Eden. Then they realized their mistake and began to understand what it means to rely on God and expect His saving action. So the first symbol is an apple, which represents Adam and Eve. They also are waiting in the hope that one day God will come back and forgive them for the sin that they had committed. The second symbol is a camel. The camel represents Abraham. Abraham traveled through the desert on a camel. In the Old Testament, the figure does it remind them all of Abraham, the desert wanderer. In his old age, God made him a promise of giving him a son and taking him to a distant land. Abraham believed joyfully expected God to fulfill his promise and was very happy. Yes, indeed. This second figure reminds us how we can be happy when we live in expectation that God will fulfill his promises to us. So the second symbol is a camel, which represents Abraham, and Abraham too always waited for God to answer him. And when God told him that he would have a son even in his old age, Abraham lived in that hope that one day he will be a father. So as we are waiting for Jesus to be born, that is why the second symbol is a camel, in the hope of waiting for God to return to us and fulfill his promise. The third symbol is a crown. You have heard the story of King David, how he was a shepherd boy and he became king one day. God made him a promise to make him a great king, although he was a simple shepherd boy. He lived in joyful expectation that when he brought the ark of God into Jerusalem, he was so happy that he danced before the ark. To indicate this great joy of David, we have the third candle, not purple in color, but pink. King David also was very happy that God would told him that as a little boy he would be king. So he too lived in expectation of being a great king one day. So the third candle is represented with a crown, that is for King David. The fourth symbol is the head of John the Baptist. Now John the Baptist was Jesus' cousin, and he was proclaiming about God and the Messiah who will soon come. But the story of John the Baptist is very sad, the way he died. He was beheaded by the king because he promised a girl that he would give her anything she wanted. And the girl asked for the head of John the Baptist because her mummy was not very happy because John the Baptist was a good man and was telling her to do the right thing. So she asked for John the Baptist to be killed and his head was put on a platter. And that is how John the Baptist died. John the Baptist also was a wonderful preacher just like Jesus, and people listened to him. And he too waited in hope that one day the Messiah, that is Jesus, will come and deliver his message to all of us. So like all these four symbols, children, we are all in waiting for the birth of Jesus. And Jesus comes into our lives, into the world, and to redeem us from our sin. I hope you have understood about Advent, its candles, the four symbols, and waiting for Jesus to be born into our lives and into this world. Thank you, children, for listening.